I'm interested to know what kind of fan you are. Are you optimistic about this season if you're a 49er fan? But I think there's another group of fans that they just don't think this thing's going to get done. I'm talking about going to the Super Bowl, not Nick Bosa's contract. But at what point is he going to miss? I'm with you. Even if he gets in tomorrow or the next day, if that guy signed a multi-year contract for big money, I'm actually not playing him for the first couple weeks. You know what I mean?
Protect your investment
until I know he's in the same condition that he would have been had he gotten to camp.
Well, and then the other thing is this. You know, it's so frustrating, and I'm sure it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. It's frustrating, I'm sure, to all Niner fans. This whole offseason, the reason that you went with Brandon Allen over Trey Lance is because you heard the announcer say, "Hey, you know what? Well, if you get into a situation where you got to win a game in the fourth quarter." Who do you trust more, Brandon Allen or Trey Lance? Well, if you're now trusting Brandon Allen over Trey Lance, despite his obviously lower upside, then you're it's a loud statement that we're in this thing for today and screw tomorrow. Well, how can you have that as your mindset and then not get your best defensive players signed before week one?
The thing that's puzzling to me is the confidence that they seem to show all off-season. And I just didn't think it would get to this point. I thought it would be – I didn't think he'd be there on time. I thought he'd be here a week or so ago just to get in and get some reps. But this is one of those things where, to me, it tells me they're more than a million or two off.
According to some reports, it might be as much as $4 or $5 million per year.
Yeah, I
over
could see
a 5-year period. So we're talking about $20 to $25 million of a gap.
Exactly.
And the other thing, Steiny, is that we've gotten two different messages. You talk to Steve Wilks and Kyle Shanahan, and Wilks is like, "Hey, man, I don't even deal with that. It's above my pay grade." Shanahan, the other day, 5 days ago, was like, "Yeah, it's pretty much where I expected it to be." So literally 5 days ago, Shanahan's on record as saying he expected this thing to get to this point. So that's one side. And then you have Lynch, who told us at the beginning of camp, "Hey, I'm not going to get into all the particulars. I promised the agent we're going to keep this positive. But I think, he needs about 3 weeks of ramp up to get ready as a former player." So he was, and then the other day when he talked to us, Lynch was like, "Hey, I'm not happy about this. And I feel like it's going to get done before the opener, and we will not be trading him, but I don't feel good that he's not in here." So, I don't know. It seems like Shanahan and Lynch have different perspectives on the whole thing.
Yeah, and look, if just hypothetically, if he gets 4 years and 28, that's 112. If he's asking for 32, that's 128. That's a difference of $16 million. If he's asking for 130, or if he's asking for 35, that's 140. So I get it, and just trying to explain, it's not just 2 or 3 or 4 million a year. And what if he's asking for 35?
And forget the annual AAV,
right?
What if they just said, "You know what? We want it all guaranteed, every penny. So we want 140 million guaranteed." Now his brother made 103 or 102 million guaranteed, and it's the same agent. So I would say that you should probably expect at least 110 guaranteed.
Sure.
But what if they want 140 guaranteed? And they've got the Niners over a barrel, and they go, "You know what, Nick, we're going to ask for the moon, and they don't have any leverage, and they're going to have to cave or trade you." And then they're not going to trade you because they just traded Trey. And they can't. That's a PR hit of huge proportion, so we're going to get it. And I don't know if we're going to get it in week 1, week 2. Keep working out, play it cool. We'll get you the bag.
Right.
That could be the conversation right there.
Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. This is what he's reporting. It's the latest on the Bosa situation, at least according to him. Take a listen.
I would say this, and I know it's been said on social media, and this point has been made, but I will still make it. The Bosas take their value extremely seriously, from the top, from the father to Joey Bosa to Nick Bosa. If there is one family that could ever hold out into the season, this would be it. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I'm just saying this is one family that believes what they believe and will take that stance like essentially Nick Bosa have done. This is a hard contract to do. My understanding is they are already over, the 49ers are already over $30 million per year. They're already over TJ Watt. He is going to be the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL. That is not the question. The question is, does he beat Aaron Donald's contract of 31, either 0.4 or 0.7 million? I can't remember right now, but somewhere
0.7.
So that's the biggest question, 0.7. There you go. But that's not just it. There was a $5 million roster bonus that Aaron Donald got when he decided not to retire. So how to account for that, which is spread out over the years, it's extremely complicated. And trying to figure out where Aaron Donald came in will help get this deal done. But the two sides obviously have a disconnect in how it's configured.
It's Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. It's about what we're all kind of figuring, right? 28, over 28 gets you over TJ Watt, a defensive end and pass rusher. Then Aaron Donald's at 31.7, but he's interior. So Bosa probably wants more than 31.7, and the 49ers are probably sitting on 30-ish, but I don't know how much more than 31.7. I'm just assuming he wants more than Aaron Donald, which, can we do that now that things have lingered this long? Let's go to, let's grab Jeremy in North Oakland. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, man?
What's up, fellas? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Steiny, you just mentioned something a minute or two ago that really resonated with me, and that was you used the phrase, oh crap, I lost it. But anyway, I'm one of those fans where I'm just very excited for the season.
Silent majority.
You're talking about. Yes, and I've moved on from all this drama that's happened in the offseason. I've forgiven Shanahan and Lynch for Trey Lance. I hope to get this Bosa deal done and just get the season started, man, because we really, really do have a chance to do something special this year. And one more thing, it seems that those 37% of fans you mentioned earlier have forgotten everything good that this organization has done over the last 7-8 years. So it's like, you guys, we have a great chance, and I'm just really, really excited. I'm getting on a plane on Friday to go to the game, and I can't wait to scream at the top of my lungs. So let's go Niners, man. Let's get it.
How do you think thanks, Jim. How do you think a lot of 49er fans in the building at Heinz Field on Sunday?
That should be interesting.
They travel great on the West Coast.
I don't know if Steeler fans, they live and die for these seats and these games. I think, I have a hard time seeing Niner fans infiltrating Heinz Field. And by the way, I'm calling it Heinz Field. I realize it's Accenture something or other.
Is?
Yeah,
I'm forget that.
I can only go one corporate name. I can't adapt to the corporate names. But the one thing, somebody's on the text line here asking, is Parag still the point man? The 650 says, are we sure Parag is still the guy doing the deal now that he's the head guy for Leeds Soccer? I don't know that. But I wonder if part of this, if Parag is indeed leading this charge, if he's trying to kind of justify his place in the organization. Like, this is my job. This is why I'm here. I'm here, Jed, to make sure that you get favorable deals. And maybe Jed needs to go to Parag and just say, hey, you know what? You can't win every single deal. And this might be one to take an L on and just get down the road.
You know what I'm looking forward to on Sunday's game?
What's that?
When you turn on an NFL game and you see two teams playing each other in their uniforms and they don't often play each other. So the Steelers and Niners, they don't play each other very often. So
in Madden,
when you
they do.
But when you see just a play from scrimmage, it's like, oh, it's cool. Two uniforms that don't usually go together. You know what I mean?
Oh, in some ways, I've dreamt of this Super Bowl. Because as a kid, I was a kid of the 70s.
Sure.
And it's like the Steelers were it, man. The Steelers and Cowboys were it, and then the Niners in the 80s. And I've always wanted to see a Niner-Steeler Super Bowl somewhere along the line. We've gotten close, but not quite.
Joe in San Francisco's got a question for you, Larry. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Hey, I'm about your guys' age. I've been watching these team sports forever and ever. In baseball, a center fielder could be the highest paid guy on the team. The catcher could be the highest paid guy on the team. In basketball, your point or your center or your power forward could be the highest, and it doesn't make a difference. Even in hockey, your goalie could be the highest paid. Your center can be the highest paid player in the game. Forget quarterback. But why? What is it, Larry? When it comes to football, is it like the edge rusher cannot make more than this. He can only make more than this, even though he is clearly the most dominant player on the defense, or the same thing with running back, or same thing with tight end. You could be the baddest dude making the most impact on the team, but they say, no, you can't. We're not going to pay you more than this. What is the deal about football this mentality when it comes to paying people?
Well, I mean, it's there are certain positions. Defensive end's not one of them, by the way. But there are certain positions they don't value paying guys top shelf money. Running back has become that position. But man, when you draft a guy second overall, and basically he went one pick after Kyler.
But even if he is the most dominant, productive in baseball, the most dominant, productive player on your team gets paid the most.
Right.
Same thing with basketball. Curry does, but in football they say nope. Go jump the ship. We're not going to pay you, even though you're the best player, the most dominant, productive player on the team.
Well, but I think if you look at the salaries, you'll see that defensive ends do get paid and left tackles do get paid. I mean, those are the guys that get paid the most in free agency. Is that the left tackle and the star edge rusher, and the D tackles.
I think he meant quarterbacks, and I was just going to say, well, quarterback's different than any other position in any other sport. It is more important.
And
it's more important than a pitcher, as far as I'm concerned, because a quarterback got to play every game.
And I mean, I think Kyler. I think that's one of the arguments that the Bosa side is probably making is look what Kyler got, and what's Kyler? I mean, he's nothing spectacular at all, and Nick has proven it. I mean, just to put it out there, I mean, Nick Bosa last year played. According to Pro Football Focus, he had 508 pass rush snaps. Not only did he have 18 and a half sacks, but he had 90 pressures. So, I mean, he is a absolutely impactful player of the highest order. And it's easy to just say, pay him.
Right.
But it's also a hard cap. So if you pay him more than he's worth, then something else is going to have to give.